You know, we've learned how to do logical thinking, like that's what science teaches us. We're very good at creative thinking. Take an idea, let it grow. Experiential thinking, where I take who am I am a soul, and I massage it into my feelings so I feel peace, so that I convert the theory into experience. And this is what sustains me on this journey. And really, that first step, Baba said in this renunciation, Molly's, the first step is total renunciation of the consciousness of the body. And I will be constantly peaceful and constantly stable. How far have I really done the work? Because that's what this life is about. And the second step was renunciation of the sense organs, because this is what Baba was talking about in this morning's morning. And I loved what Baba said. Baba said, a mouse comes and a cat chases it away. The cat comes, the dog chases it away. The dog comes and the lion chases it away. Do you remember that? He said in renunciation, Molly's. And what Baba said, the mouse is the eyes, you know. The mind is deceived by the eyes. And then the cat is the ears. And then the dog is the sanskaras. It's like, and the image I have these days for me is that the mind is like a sacred space inside. I love this thought because we have to become the masters. Baba said, your greatest treasure is your thoughts. And if you think your mind is like a sacred space, and it's just a beautiful, like I think of it these days as a still pond of clear, pure water, absolutely still. But there's gateways into this mind, and they're the sense organs. And so if I hear an opinion or a comment that's rude or negative, do I let it through my gateway and disturb the still pond so the pond becomes stormy? If I do, that's a lack of control of my sense organs. If I don't stop it at the gateway, I listen, but I don't let it through to disturb my mind. This is a jnani soul. A knowledgeful soul doesn't absorb through the senses to disturb my inner world. And Baba was saying, the sign of that soul is that very detached, things, these little windows. Baba said these deceive me most. I see someone's body and I become impressed or attracted or influenced, and it enters my mind. Or I see some injustice and my mind becomes disturbed. This is what Baba was meaning by renunciation of the sense organs. And renunciation, and then the third step was renunciation of relationships. And you think, we've spent 84 births in families. We are the ultimate family people. And God comes and he says, children, love everybody, but break your attachment to each and every single human being. And Baba said, the great renunciate becomes the conqueror of attachment. And the signs of attachment are both attraction and repulsion. Not just attraction. And Baba was saying that if there's somebody who constantly disturbs my intellect, that's a sign of an attachment, Even when I sit in yoga, I'm thinking about this person. God, what have they done this? And they're like this and all this sort of... That is the sign of attachment. And Baba described repulsion, dislike, as a royal form of selfishness. Why? Because they're not fulfilling my needs, They're not dancing to the tune I want. That's how selfish love is today. I love you, but you have to behave in the way I want you to behave. And so, and even then Baba sort of said to renounce waste as well. So Baba, step by step, educated us. What is this journey? The renunciation of the consciousness of the body, the renunciation of the sense organs so that my mind isn't disturbed, a renunciation of all human relationships, the renunciation of waste, and you will become the embodiment of spiritual power. Because I think many of Baba's children, we really love Baba, but still too much disturbs us, too much affects us, too much upsets us, because we haven't really taken that deep step. Because when we do, we lay the foundation for deep yoga, not meandering yoga, where you sit to remember Baba and you go out the window and you go home and you travel over to India and you go to workplace and you come back to Baba and then you travel off again. That doesn't make us a powerful soul. And I think that, really to go, I love this subject of renunciation, because I sometimes have the image, we came into the cycle, the soul sat lightly on the forehead, and we had nothing. By the end of the cycle, I am this my, this whole network. And it's like a spider web holding the soul down. And Baba's coming, and he's instructing us how to let it go, let it go, let it go. And we become free. We become completely free. And there's many steps on that journey. But I think it's Baba's love. And one scene I often remember was I was in 1980, I went to New York, and Didi Manmohini came to New York. She was the head of the Yagya in the 1980s. And I went back to Madhavan on my way back to Australia, and Baba wasn't scheduled to come, but all the senior sisters had come to Madhavan. And anyway, Daddyji was reading the Murli, and just to cut a long story short, she got Daddy Gozar up on the gadi at 8 o'clock in the morning and said to Daddy, go to Baba, he should meet all these children. In those days, Baba was very spontaneous, he'd come at different times. There wasn't such a huge family. But Baba came at 8 o'clock in the morning, during the morning Murli, just like that. And Baba said, I haven't come to speak the Murli, I've come to fulfill the love of the children. And for 2 hours, each one of them just came to Baba and lay across Baba's lap. Aviya Babdada. I've never seen that before. I haven't. And Baba just gave each one so much love. I could just see he gave them so much love. And each one's a different personality. And yet Baba zoned in on their specialty and saw the beauty. And I saw why the daddies are so strong and why they had complete and utter renunciation. Because when there's deep love, you'll let go anything. Deep love fulfills, and you'll let go anything, and not even a thought. But if love isn't so strong, we think, I'll let go this much, Baba, but let me just see. Not prepared to go the whole way. And yet when you go the whole way, that's what really makes this life totally magic, a life with God, where all I have, I'm just, a simple soul. And Baba gave such deep love to each one. And I remember thinking that no one will love me like Baba. And I've seen that the souls who have all relationships with one Baba are the souls that really fly on this journey. Because I think that's probably of all the points of knowledge that, there's so much knowledge, that's the most powerful point to me. If I have the courage, I love everybody, I cooperate with everybody, I interact with everybody, I give respect to everybody, but I have one in my heart. And I think it wins Baba's trust. And that, because if my yoga is the one who's incorporeal, is with the one who's incorporeal, viceless and egoless only, what do I become? Easily. But if my yoga is with Baba, who's incorporeal, viceless and egoless, but I still have yoga with family members and stuff, subtly what that does is it sustains my impurity. I'm having yoga with material, with bodily beings. And this is why I think Baba's children can't really feel they're progressing. Because on the one hand, I do love Baba, there's absolutely no doubt. But because I hold dependent relationships with human beings, I sustain my old story. I sustain my impurity. And that's when sometimes I feel I'm trying Baba and I follow all the Srimat and I get up each morning, but I don't really feel I'm flying like I should be. Because when Daddy Prakash, when he came to Australia once, we asked Daddy, why did Baba make you the instrument, the main instrument? Straight away she said, from the beginning I had all relationships with one. And that builds the power back in the soul. You know, when I have that courage, and especially these days as time is short, that, you know, we want to go fast, but we want to make it easy. You know, who likes an easy Brahman life? I do. And I feel, you know, Baba gave in this renunciation morning, step by step, what we need to do to reach the highest stage.
Can I interrupt for a minute?
Yes, of course.
Brother Charlie, one thing is so touching, what you are saying, I'm sure is moving everyone's heart. But the point is, those who came in knowledge in 60s or 70s, or even up to 80s, mid-80s, they had this kind of personal experiences with Baba, Dadis, and a smaller group in Madhuban, and meeting even Baba on stage, and having a personal, you know, chit-chat and all this stuff that helped them to bring that shift, okay? But as for the drama, you know, there are so many Baba's children haven't got that, and I'm sure you have experience in your area also, wherever you are going. So what you suggest for them? Because, like I would say, you know, I just came in knowledge 10 years back or 5 years back. Even I haven't seen Dadiji, or I saw Dadiji, but I didn't get even chance to take Toli or something like that. So, but how can I, you know, have that experience of love that can give me energy to renounce? You know what I'm saying?
I do. And I think, you know, I remember once, even someone asked that question to Daddy Janki, and even Bab Dada has said, it's not how long you're in Gyan, it's how you use your time once you are in Gyan. And really, I think, I'll be really open with you, I've seen some old Brahmins, it's a bit easy, you know, some feel, when they come to Baba, oh, I wish I'd come 50 years ago. And someone asked that to Daddy Janki, and she looked at me and said, would you maintain high effort for 50 years? Could you do it? You know, you know, in other words, I think it's when we come, it's how we use my Brahman life. And I feel, you know, I'm not a sentimental person at all, and I feel I've seen some souls come now and absolutely fly. Because Bab Dada is only a thought away. It's all about recognition, and I would say understanding the value of Srimat. Understand that Srimat isn't a set of rules and regulations. Some people sort of say, oh, it's a very religious view of Srimat. Srimat is the deepest code of truth. That if you embed that in your life, it will free you from all forms of impurity and bad karma. And when I understand that every single Srimat is built there to keep my intellect with one. If I miss a few Srimats, that's why my mind is pulled here and my mind is pulled there. If I follow the whole system. Some of Baba's children feel Srimat is just getting up in the morning and coming to Murli, being vegetarian. That's just lifestyle Srimat. It's important. But relationship Srimat is to see others as a soul, to have good wishes and pure feelings, to give respect. And if I follow relationship Srimat, I will stop the game of give and take of sorrow with human beings. And if I'm still in the game of give and take of sorrow with others, it's a sign I haven't fully followed what Baba is saying. You know, and even the consciousness Srimat, Baba has said. You know, Daddy Gozar gave a wonderful class once on the Maryadas of the mind, to keep your mind in the parameters that Baba's given us permission. To remember him, to practice self-consciousness, to churn knowledge, to do Mansa Seva. You know, actually, if we follow, we're in Baba's world. And really, I think we can experience that relationship